So the Black Stars of Ghana will be playing the Croatian national team today in a city called Philadelphia, which is in the US. Now today we are going to do um today we are going to do World Cup edition of the Study Abroad podcast, where we'll be responding to your questions. So it's a Q&A section the last day, the last Saturday of every month. And so throughout the month, if you are new to the podcast, we host individuals who have been through the process, and then they share their experience, their journey with us to help you who also want to study abroad. But every Saturday, that which is the last Saturday of the month, we do what we call a Q&A session. We know you have questions. You're working on the process. So what questions do you have about the process? We'll be happy to respond to them. Today, I'm here with Ben, who is also in the UK. Ben, how is the UK and how is the weather? How are you doing? How was it when the Black Stars drew with the Three Lions? How was the feeling in the UK?
Yeah, Charlie, thank you so much for co-hosting me on today's podcast. I want to send a warm greetings to all our audience for today. And in fact, they keep on motivating us because when we come and we see them online, then it's a full of fun, it's a full of enjoyment. So I want to say thank you all for joining us live today. Yeah, so far so good. Think the heat wave is very, very high. At the moment, it's around 34, 35 degrees Celsius. So England is very hot at the moment. When you walk around, you can see people walking almost naked, and I think it's normal. Back home, if you try, it's going to be something totally different. But here, at least you have no option than to go naked because it's very hot for them. But of course, the blacks in we are coping because it's not really a strange weather to us. So it's the winter that sometimes it gets harder on us. So, but for the summer, I think most of us are okay. And then with regards to the World Cup, I think it was a kind of mixed feeling. Yeah, because the whole thing was like, oh, Ghana, we are going to destroy Ghana, but unfortunately, it didn't go as most of the prediction went. Most of the predictions came. So you will see that even though we couldn't win, it was a draw game. But I think we were very happy, just that we were happy within, because you hardly see people going around, unlike the USA that you see people going around jubilating and celebrating. Here, it's like you're happy in your house. So I remember we gathered at one place to watch the match, but all our jubilation ended in the room. As soon as we got out, everyone was as quiet as we can. So that's what happened in regards to the Ghana England goalless draw some few days back.
All right. So let us hear from you if our connection is stable. Looks like I wasn't hearing Ben when he was saying some of the things, but let us hear in the comments. Maybe it's from my side. Is the connection stable? If you're watching us on TikTok, you're welcome. On Facebook is the Fred Effect. On YouTube is the Fred Effect X, and then also on Instagram. Is the connection stable at your end? Can you hear us very well? Is the sound okay? Is the video very clear? Please let us know in the comment section. So like I said in my intro, we are going to be doing some World Cup edition of the Study Abroad podcast. You know that the Black Stars of Ghana is camping in a state called Rhode Island. It's not very popular. If you're in Ghana, you might probably not know about Rhode Island, but that is where the Black Stars will be camping. And guess what? They are camping in a university called Bryant University. So this is the website of Bryant University, and that is where Ghana Black Stars will be camping. Yesterday, if you were able to watch the Spain national team versus the Spain national team, you know that they are also camping in a city called Chattanooga. Chattanooga is in Tennessee, and guess what? That is where the University of Tennessee Chattanooga is located. So we are watching, World Cup, but we are also doing study abroad, right? So get a pen and a paper, and I'm going to take you through a lot, and then you have to use your study abroad intuition to understand that as you're watching the World Cup, you also have to think about studying abroad as well. So we started with Bryant University. Bryant University is located in Rhode Island. So Bryant University is located in Rhode Island. That is where the Black Stars of Ghana is camping. So Rhode Island is a state in the US, and then Bryant University is located in this state. And so if you're looking for undergraduate programs, this is one of the schools you should be targeting. It is located in a city called Smithfield. And so check out Bryant University, which is BRY. If you're watching us on TikTok, be typing it in the comment section for us. BRYANT. They are known for, is a private institution, and they have very good undergraduate programs you can check out. And then a lot of people are tipping Spain to win the World Cup. Guess what? They are camping in a city called Chattanooga. And Chattanooga is where the University of Tennessee, Chattanooga, I have a couple of friends there, is located. So you can write it as part of the schools you'll be checking out. They have very good graduate programs that you can check out. Some people also believe that France have, all the stars to win the World Cup. And they are also camping in Massachusetts. The university they are camping, they train at, is called Bentley University. So Bentley University is located in the state of Massachusetts, in a city called Waltham, which is Waltham. Bentley University is also a private university. That's where the French national team is camping at the moment. And if you see my screen, that is Mbappe on their website. So Bentley University, Bentley. You can check them out, especially for undergraduate programs. They also have graduate programs as well. And they count themselves as having, the number one. Let's look at that. They say they are the number one in terms of undergraduate career services, 98 job placement rate, about 75,000 median starting salary, and then number 2 most innovative regional North US university. So Bentley University, that is where, and since we are in Massachusetts, the Black Stars played with the English national team, the Three Lions, in Boston. And guess what? In Boston, that is where Boston University is located. So today we are doing World Cup edition of the Study Abroad podcast. And you have to be writing them down. Boston University, that is where the Black Stars played. Boston, that's where Black Stars played with England. And that is where Boston University is. A big city, so there are a lot of universities located there as well. And guess what? Today, the Black Stars will be facing Croatia in a city called Philadelphia. And if you know of Philly is in Pennsylvania. That's the state. And then Philadelphia, they have a lot of universities over there. So UPenn, which is an Ivy League, University of Pennsylvania. If you've been following me on TikTok, I visited University of Pennsylvania, and then I made a video at that place too. So Black Stars will be playing very close to a university you can end up studying and getting scholarship to study at. And I have a couple of friends there as well. UPenn, I've visited there, and very close to UPenn, which we are still in Pennsylvania. Very close to UPenn. I mean, they share more or less, like you can walk directly from one school to another. Very close to the University of Pennsylvania is what we call the Drexel University, DREXMEL. So Drexel University, they share the same, more or less like the same campus with the University of Pennsylvania. So Drexel University is also located in Philadelphia. And then very close to the same university, you notice where Temple University. So Temple University is also located in Philadelphia, which is where the Black Stars will be playing. So as we think about the World Cup, we're also thinking about our study abroad process. And I'll be coming your way with more. But today is the Q&A session. So if you have questions, you can be typing them in the comment section. And also you can request. You can use the link I'm sharing on the screen to request. You type it in your web browser, you request, you can join us live. When you join us, you need to put your video on so that we can answer your questions. And if you need help applying to any of these universities, you remember, you can send us a direct message, and then we'll be happy to assist you. The Fred Effect team has a mock interview platform you can join to also prepare for your visa interview. So Ben, yes, let's start picking some of the questions in the comment section, and then we'll be responding to them. When people request, we'll be bringing them on. Please, when you request and you're on, kindly put on your video because we are live, and then we'll be happy to pick you up and then answer your questions as well. You can also request on TikTok. We'll be happy to pick you up from there as well. All right, Ben.
Oh, okay, Fred. Can you hear me now?
Sometimes you're breaking a little bit, but I can hear you.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so before we pick the questions, before we pick the questions, I think it's one of the best universities when it comes to business related programs in the US.
Yeah.
I remember when I started the whole study abroad journey, one of the first schools I reached out to was Bentley University, and I think I had a very nice correspondence from them. I think almost all my emails I sent to them, I got replied. I think I even got admission those days, but because of some few things, I couldn't go to there. So if you are interested in reading any business related program, I think you can consider Bentley University, and you'll be fine. They have a lot of rich business programs. All right. So let's quickly pick our first question. This one is from Derek. He's saying that I would like to know more about housing. Which one is the best? Is it off campus or on campus?
Yeah, I mean that's a very good question. Thank you for asking, Derek, watching us on YouTube. So, Derek, it depends on either you're a graduate, whether you're a graduate student or undergraduate student. Especially if you're coming to study in the US, you have to understand that as an undergraduate student, it's compulsory for you to be in the university on campus housing in the first year or second year, except you are being given an exception. But you know with undergraduate first year, what we call the freshman, and then sophomore year, first and second year, or what we call Ghana level 100, level 200 year. The university, because of safety reasons and other most important stuff, they want you to stay on campus. So campus, you might not have an option except you give them legit reasons why you may not be able to live on campus. And if you're a graduate student, mostly except you have some level of graduate assistantship, or you also apply to stay on campus, which is the campus halls. Mostly off campus is what you'll be targeting. It might be very close to campus, but it's classified as off campus. And so they all have advantages and disadvantages, right? If you are staying on campus in most universities, there are certain restrictions and all that. But off campus, also it will give you some flexibility. In terms of security, I would prefer on campus to off campus. So whether staying on campus or off campus, they all come with their challenges as well as the positive side associated with them. But really, that's a good question. So your options may be limited depending on whether you are applying as a graduate student or undergraduate student. Mostly people think that the on-campus accommodation is a little bit expensive compared to the off-campus, and the flexibility that comes with off-campus. And maybe off-campus, you may need transportation to go to class and all that. If you're on campus, you can literally walk to your class. So yeah, Derek, that's a very good question, and thank you for asking. Mr. Solomon, if you want us to talk, you need to put on your video. We'll pick you and then we have a conversation. Ben, can we move on to the next question? Ben, let's move on to the next question.
Okay, yeah. This is from Emmanuel. He's asking, please, my university is a public school in Ghana. It is now 6 years old from the time it was established. Does its young nature affect my scholarship eligibility for masters in USA and Canada?
Oh yeah, that's a very good question. Please let us hear in the comment section. I feel like Ben is breaking a little bit. It could also be from my end. So let me know in the comment section if the connection is stable for you who is watching us at home. So the how young your university is does not matter. The most important thing is they being able to provide the documents you need. You understand? So if they're able to give you a legit transcript and everything, then it wouldn't your admission will not be based on the school you're applying from. Your admission will be based, or your scholarship will be based on your credentials that you are using to apply to the specific university you're applying to. So it's okay if it was established 3 years ago, 6 years ago, 7 years ago. It really doesn't matter. Ben, let's move on to the next one. Okay, so I feel like Ben is breaking. I don't know if you
The
can
only
hear
thing
us
I
very
want to
well.
add to this, Fred, can you hear me?
Yeah, I feel like you're breaking, but I also don't want to assume that it's your connection or it's mine. So let me know if you can hear us in the comment section.
Yeah.
Are we clear?
Yeah, because I can hear you clearly.
Okay. Yeah, so go ahead. I can hear you. So go ahead.
Yeah, so I think one thing I want to add to this one is that Emmanuel should be sure whether the school is accredited. You know, we have most universities that are not accredited. And what happens is that in Ghana, yes, I'm sure Emmanuel is in Ghana. So in Ghana, I think the GTEC is in charge of accrediting all tertiary institutions. So what you have to do is that cross-check and be sure, go to the GTEC website and be sure. If the university's name can be found at the website of GTEC, then there is no need for you to worry about whether the school is young or not. In fact, you can even go to a school that is being established today. As long as you have your transcripts, you don't need to worry about whether you get full scholarship or not. If the admission is not competitive enough, you are good to go. So what is important is please check whether the university is accredited and you are good to go. All right. Hey, I think the same Emmanuel today he has come with all his questions. So, all right.
All right.
Say, please, is serving as a teaching assistant during national service a requirement for graduate assistantship?
Okay. All right. So if you're watching us, please let us know in the comment section. Because let's see. Please, is serving as a teaching assistant during the national service as a requirement to graduate assistantship? That's a very good question, Emmanuel. That's a very, very good question. So the teaching assistantship obviously will be captured on your resume. So it depends on what program you're applying to. That you being assistant necessarily will depend on whether you're also going to be a graduate assistant for your scholarship, a teaching, research, or fellowship. So most importantly, if your CV captures more or less like a work experience related to the kind of graduate assistantship duties that you're going to offer, I feel like it sort of gives you an upper hand. But it doesn't necessarily mean that because you are a TA, it gives you an upper hand than somebody who is not. So basically, it's the work experience that matters, not the specific position as a TA or the or a GA way back in your national service.
So this is from Francis. He's saying that please I have evaluated my transcript using Spectrum. Is it good or I have to go in for worse?
So what the I think it's my connection. Ben, let me know if you can hear me. So the advantage that Spantran has over the other evaluation services is that Spantran is much quicker and cheaper. However, in terms of using WES, it increases your CGPA. So usually when people ask me if you are evaluating for evaluating sake, so for example, some universities compulsorily require that whether you have a first class, whatever class you have, you need to evaluate your transcript. If that is the reason for evaluating your transcript and you are not necessarily looking forward to your CGPA increasing or improving your CGPA, then using Spantran will be quicker, it will be cheaper. However, if your CGPA is low, and one of the advantages of evaluating your transcript is that it boosts your CGPA or increases your CGPA, then I would highly suggest that you use WES. Also, some universities have preference for transcript evaluation companies to use. So most universities will accept WES, but not every university accepts Spantran evaluation. So you need to check with the university you are applying to, know the kind of company they prefer in terms of evaluating your transcript, and use that. And just as a tip for everyone listening, if there are some universities, they have connections with Spantran. So what it means is that if you go to Spantran website to work on your evaluation, it is much expensive compared to using the university linked, Spantran services, which to evaluate your transcript. It will reduce the cost of your evaluation. So that is another tip for that. So thank you for asking, Francis. Ben, let's move on to the next one. All right. I feel like the network is not stable for us today.
Okay. So this is. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Fred?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm listening. Go ahead. I can hear you.
Yes. So this is from Teresa. She wants to know our country specially got banned. What should we be doing? I think this is an interesting one.
All right. So that in on this ad you only
Fred, when I comment on this.
Yes.
I should comment. Okay.
So on this ad you have to control what you can control. So there are some things that are beyond you and you have no control over them, right? So there's nothing you as an individual can do about that. So in that case, you have to look forward to applying to other countries that you can secure a visa to. So you check out Canada, you check out Germany, you check out Spain, other countries that you are eligible to apply to visa to. So there are some things you don't have control over. So please work on the things you can control.
That's great. Yeah, so this one is from Curry. So Curry is saying that I have 3.34 CGPA. However, I had an F in one of my courses and it is in my transcript. Do I need to explain that in my statement of purpose?
Yes, obviously. Remember that statement of purpose normally have prompts. So some universities will tell you specific things they want you to write in your statement of purpose. So if you have a line or two explaining what happened or sort of having something that you overcame during your time back in school, then that's absolutely fine. You can do that in your statement of purpose as well.
Okay.
Ben, let's move on.
All right. Okay, so this is from Samuel watching us from YouTube. He says that does schools offer full scholarship for bachelor's nursing programs? If yes, does one need to have SAT score? I think this is a very good question.
Yes. So obviously, in terms of undergraduate scholarship, you have to understand that it works. The process works a little bit differently. So most universities will require that you need to first of all identify a university that says that they offer scholarships to international students. So they normally would not use the word scholarship. They will use meet 100% of demonstrated need. So you need to first of all find universities that offer 100% scholarship or offer scholarships. Then you look at whether they have nursing programs. And the second one is whether they admit international students for these nursing programs. Now, the good thing, especially about studying in the US, is that you can literally call them, you can email them, join an info section, or just request information, getting to know that the specific universities, for example, we just shared Bentley University, Temple University, and all that. You can find out whether they offer scholarships for the specific program that you are applying to. Know what kind of financial aid they give to international students, especially even before you apply. So that is the way to find out. Do you need an SAT score? There are some universities that are test optional, which means they don't require the SAT. If you're applying to a university that tie the scholarship or the financial aid to your SAT score, then yes, you need to sit for it before you apply. Ben, let's move on.
All right. Thank you so much. This one is from Chris, watching us from YouTube. Chris, thank you for your question. He's saying that is research experience a must for master's full funding in the US? How to get it? If yes, especially with limited research opportunities.
Yeah, so in terms of master's funding, it depends on the program you're applying to. Most master's programs, of course, are research based, and so if you have a research experience, it's helpful. However, it doesn't necessarily make it a must. That is depending on the program you are applying to. So most universities will give you the criteria for admission, what they expect you to get, maybe a writing sample, your CV, and all that. So if they expect you to have a research topic before applying, if they expect that you have a research experience before applying, then yes. So it's not a generic answer that, automatically once you want to apply for a master's degree program, then you need to have a research experience. When I was applying from University of Cape Coast, I did not have applying to that program. So yes, it depends on teaching programs. Yeah, a research experience, normally it's very helpful. So just also to let everybody know, in Ghana, we have something like MPhil, that's Master of Philosophy. If you're applying to university in the US, there's nothing like MPhil. So stop searching for MPhil programs. You're either applying for a Master of Science or a Master of Arts program. So MPhil is not a program you should be searching for if you want to stay in the US. So thank you for asking, Chris, from YouTube.
Yeah, so I think one thing I would add to this is that I think we hosted one guest on this podcast who was saying that he's doing his PhD and he's on a full scholarship without any research background. So of course, in some of these schools outside, the system is such that if and only if you have the passion to learn, even if you have no interest, you can be guided through to have the skills and then the knowledge to carry on with your research. But one thing that you should know is that there are some programs that are very like research in nature. So
Yeah.
it's like a research based courses. So those courses, please, you don't want to try, especially if your knowledge research is not all that strong, because those programs, they want you to even submit your research proposal, or like, yes, your research proposal. So supposing you don't know anything about research, how are you even going to submit your proposal in the first place? But other than that, we still have countless universities that are not really into your research background, but the desire to learn and grow. That is what they're looking for. So if you're able to demonstrate that the ability of securing full scholarship without a research background is also very high. So Chris, thank you for your question. And I think if you stick to this, it's gonna help you. All right.
Yeah, we go to the next person. Let's see, Isaac. Let's see if we have Isaac on. Isaac, if you could hear us and
yeah,
come
the
on.
network is very slow today.
All right. Let us hear in the comment section if you can hear us very well. If you're watching us on Facebook, YouTube, X, or Instagram, Is it stable at your end? Let us know. Please, I get admission and the start date is 24th of August. Please, I want to know whether I get appointment for my interview, and also they said I should um okay. So yeah, Farida, we are already in June. What it means is that you have like, if your program is starting in 24th of August, you have like 2 months to still be looking for interview date appointment. And the good thing is that right now you can even request for an expedited appointment, and your if you get it approved, the embassy will automatically give you a date. There are even people who have gotten more than 2 times of the appointment. So they got a first one, they went, they couldn't get a visa, and they came back to secure an interview. Normally, when people are not close to the process, they may not understand how it works when it comes. They only dwell on hearsays that, oh, it's difficult to get appointment. And I think that this year, having the opportunity to do this for so many years, this year there is a lot of interview dates available, and a lot of people are getting slots to go for the visa interview. And unlike initially, where even if you put in emergency request, the embassy will approve your emergency, and then they will ask you to go and look for dates. Farida, this year, when you put in emergency request, the embassy, when it is being approved, will automatically give you an interview day. So this is very helpful. In terms of the university asking you to pay an amount, normally some universities have what we call enrollment deposit. So when you gain admission to the university, they want to, they want you to show commitment that you'll be coming. You see, some people do not apply to only one university; they apply to 2, 3, or 4. So universities would want to make plans for incoming students, and so if you make a commitment, what we call the enrollment deposit, now it gives them an assurance that you'll be showing up if they should leave space for you in their university. So Farida, that is how it works. Let's see if we can pick people on. If you join us and you want us to bring you on, please make sure you put on your video. Ben, let's move on to the next question.
All right. So this is from Kennedy. He's saying that I have 2 bachelors and a nursing certificate. Which of the transcript should I evaluate when applying for MPH? That's Masters of Public Health.
All right. So in terms of evaluation, and this is a very good question. Thank you for asking. So you have 2 years of bachelor's and then a nursing certificate. If you're evaluating, you would have to do the 2 of them together. So you don't evaluate one and leave the other. Your bachelor's, your 2 years bachelor's is as a result of the certificate you have. If you apply to the bachelor's degree with high school, it would have been 4 years. But because you have a certificate of 2 years, that is the reason why your bachelor's is 2 years and not 4 years. So in terms of evaluation, you are evaluating the 2 of them together. And if you are familiar with any of the evaluation companies, they give you opportunity to type in all your qualifications. And this goes to anybody who have maybe a master's degree or anything like that. If you're applying for evaluation, you have maybe a diploma, a top-up, a master's degree. Remember, all of them need to be evaluated. The purpose of the evaluation is because you had your qualification outside a US or Canadian institution, outside the US or Canada. And so they expect you to evaluate all of them, together. So basically, that's how it works. Ben, we can move on to the next question.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. I am a teacher by profession. I have
Ben, let's move on.
The network is not helping us today. Okay. I am a teacher by profession. I have B.Ed and M.Ed in mathematics. Oh. All right. Let me pick iShow Speed comment. Hey, is it iShow Speed in US? All right. With a GPA of 3.1, can I get a full scholarship as an undergraduate student?
Yeah. So 3.1, most universities prefer like you having 2.7 or 2.8 or above. So 3.1 gives you a higher node. So that means that you need to put a lot of work into your CV, your statement of purpose, and all that. So basically, that's how it works. So yeah, 3.1 is not a problem. You can get admission, obviously. Quinley, how are you doing?
All right, thank you. This is from Prof. This is from Prof. He says that I am a teacher by profession. I have Bachelor of Education and Master's in Education in Mathematics and evaluated and transcript through TEC. I would like to know whether I can apply for PhD, though I do not have any research background.
Yeah, I mean, in applying for mathematics, especially or mathematics education PhD, you may not necessarily need a research background. Sometimes the application portal will ask for a writing sample, which could be an assignment or anything that you've done. So, first of all, figure out the program you want to apply to. Now, when you look at the requirement for applying to that program, if you have any questions, so normally people look at the requirements for a program and automatically deny themselves even before they ask anything. Now, if you've been an ardent follower of this platform, remember we have 5 criteria for applying for a full scholarship, especially if you are coming to the USA. First of all, request for information. 2, attend a webinar. The university organized sessions that they explain the program. You have opportunity to ask questions. Email the school. Every program has a graduate coordinator or director. Email them before you apply. Follow the social media platform of the university you want to apply to. And mostly the information about scholarships are clearly also stated on their website. So you read what we call frequently asked questions. So if you follow these 5 criteria that the Fred effect criteria of getting full scholarship, there's no way you apply to a school without getting a scholarship. So yeah, BEd, and then MEd, you're good to go. You have a solid background to apply for any PhD program.
All right, Prof. So you have a solid background. Don't worry, just try and apply. Thank you for your question. This is from James. James says, what scores do I need to boost my application for full scholarship if I had 6 A's and 2 B's?
Oh, that's solid. So 6 A's and 2 B's is a very solid resource. So the SAT scores are being determined by the university, right? So the university you are applying to, if it is test optional, I think that you need a strong transcript, and then you'll be able to apply even without the SAT. And so when you're applying, you need to understand that there are universities that do not offer scholarships to international students. So first of all, the best way to go about this is to select universities that says that they meet 100% of demonstrated need. I've been mentioning that you will not see, especially for undergraduate programs, for most masters and PhD programs, you can see specifically that we offer scholarships to students. However, when it comes to undergraduate, the words they use, if you're applying to a school in the US, is that we meet 100% of demonstrated need. That is the full scholarship they are talking about. And so you have to choose a school that says that, and then you find out whether it is test optional or they require the SAT scores. Now, if they require the SAT scores, they will specifically let you know the specific scores that they require. So, for example, when you go to the website of University of Alabama, international scholarship. So University of Alabama is one of the universities that offer full scholarships to international students. Now, if you want to apply to this university, they give you a certain criteria in terms of what SAT scores and what CGPA you are supposed to have in order to apply to their program. And let me share that with you real quick. So if you go to this University of Alabama at Tuscaloosa, University of Alabama system, we have the Birmingham campus, which I've been there before, and I've been to Tuscaloosa before as well. So if you scroll down, you notice that if you want to be offered the highest scholarship, which is the Presidential Award, they expect you to have between 32 to 36 ACT or 1,420 to 1,600 SAT. So if you don't know about it, the highest score you can get in the SAT is 1,600 or 1,600 if I'm speaking in American way. So they say that to be offered the highest scholarship, you need to have the between 1,420 to 1,600 SAT score. If you have below that, and then you have to have a CGP of 3.5, remember, your transcript dictates your CGP. So if you're applying to a school like this, that gives specific numbers in terms of whether how to get a full scholarship, then you need to follow this. If you're applying to a school that do not have these instructions and they give you opportunity to fill out what we call the International Student Financial Aid or the profile that gives you the full scholarship, then you're good to go. All right, Ben, let's move on to the next one.
All right. Okay, so this one is from
Yeah, we can move on, Ben. Let's move on.
Yes, I don't know why it's slow. The comments are not loading faster. Okay. So this one is from Edward, watching us from Facebook. Eddie, thank you for joining us live. He says that, hi, Fred. I processed an expedited appointment, but I'm not sure if it went through. I remember I submitted it, but because I didn't receive an email of submission, I have chatted support on the AVIT portal, but no response. Time is also going because my program is starting in 4. What should I do?
Okay, so if you're not sure whether it went through, you can obviously try to put in another request. So when you pay the visa application fee, or what we call the MRV fee, you have one opportunity to put in emergency request, right? And since you're not sure whether what you did went through, just try another one. And normally, if it has gone through, the system will tell you that you cannot put in two emergency or expedited appointment or request. So that means that the initial one you did has gone through. And let's understand that, the embassy will not send you an email if you put in a request. When you put in the request in the app, show that your request has been processed. So to answer your question, try to put in another emergency request. If it goes through, it means the earlier one did it. And if it didn't, it doesn't go through, it means that the earlier one was successful. And so you just have to wait for the approval from the embassy. And understand that when the embassy approve your emergency request, they will automatically schedule your appointment for you or reschedule your appointment for you. So when you put in the emergency request, it is very essential that you start preparing for the interview as soon as possible. Other than that, if they give you a date and you are not ready for it, then it also becomes something else. So basically, that is it. Let's move on, Ben.
All right. So this is Derek watching us from YouTube. Derek, we appreciate your support. He says that, is it possible to be transferred from one US school to another?
Yeah, sure.
Yes, it is possible.
Yeah.
All right, so, Fred, you want to come in?
Yeah. So if you have to make sure that you gain admission into the new university you want to transfer to. And please understand that there are two forms of transfers. There is something we call credit transfer and CVIS transfer. The CVIS transfer has to do with you as an international student transferring your details of enrolling in one school to another. The credit transfer is that maybe you started a bachelor's degree program, you're in the sophomore year or level 200, then you want to go and continue in another university. In that case, you're going to transfer your credit from that school A to school B, and then you need to do the immigration side, which is the CVIS transfer as well. In that case, you deal with the international office to work on that.
All right. Thank you so much for explaining it to us. This is from Nana Boachi watching us from YouTube. Nana says that I have been admitted to a PhD in leadership studies in the US. The university has informed me about graduate assistantship opportunity, which could cover about half of my tuition and weekly stipend.
Yeah, congrats to you, Nana Boachi.
What are you trying to ask? Anyway, congratulations on your admission. All right.
Maybe he couldn't complete the sentence. That's why the question is not following. But so Nana, you can, if you have questions or maybe you just Yeah, maybe he couldn't complete typing. That's why the questions are not full. But since there is a full stop, we assume that he finished talking. So congrats on your admission. And if you have questions, please type it. We'll be happy to respond to that.
All right. Okay, this is the continuation. So it says that my main concern is the student visa. What are my chances of obtaining F1 visa if I don't have full funding and will need to rely on the financial support from family to cover the remaining costs?
That's a very good question. What for me, I feel like I think that every student who has an I-20 has full funding. The full funding could be from family, could be from the university you're going to or the department you've been admitted into. It could also be from loan or maybe a government scholarship or anything like that. So first of all, the mindset about this whole thing needs to be reshaped or changed. So once you hold an I-20, you have a full funding. Now, the visa approval is not only based on the funding you have. If that was the case, then if you have funding from the university, then automatically your visa should be added. So there are certain things, and if you're on the mock interview platform of the Fred Effect, we have a criteria we follow when preparing for the visa interview. So you need to take a look at what we call the 214B document. If you are new to the platform, 214B document is a document that is being given to everyone who goes for the interview and is unsuccessful. It explains the reason why they deny visa. So they talk about being admitted into a legitimate institution, which is USCI is approved, and then also being a genuine student, having enough financial support, and also being able to show home ties. So there are criteria to approve the visa. And so if you have that alone, it doesn't mean that you're going to get a visa approved. You need to satisfy the other requirements, talking about home ties, talking about being a genuine student, talking about applying to a good school and stuff like that. So you need to prepare for your visa interview and be competent enough or be interview ready such that you'll be able to address the questions that are being asked. Also, a lot of people only focus on the 1 minute or 2 minute interview at the embassy. However, you complete a whole about 13 to 15 pages of DS 160, which is the entire application itself. So you need to get somebody to review that document. Are you able to answer the questions in the DS 160 correctly? There was a time I was talking to somebody and they asked about his her first language. On the I-20, your first language is indicated as being English proficient. On the DS-160, the person selected Twi as the first language. Meanwhile, if you're a Ghanaian, it's supposed to be English. So these are some of the important things you need to pay attention to. And yes, you have a higher chance of getting the visa approved if you prepare very well. But let's move on to the next one. Looks like Ben is freezing. Let me know in the comment section. Can you hear me very well? Can you hear Ben? Or we are both freezing? Or the connection is from my end. Please let me know. But let's move on to the next one. Let's move on to the next question. But please let us know if you are hearing us, if the video is stable, if the connection is stable, and make sure you share so that other people can benefit from the ideas and information we are sharing. Let's move on, Ben.
All right. Okay. This one is from Emmanuel. He's saying that I have interest in Illinois State University, that's energy economics, University of Maine, resource economics. Based on your experience, what advice will you offer me? And CGPA is 3.76 from BSc Energy and Resources.
The advice I'll offer you is simple. I think you have a very strong CGPA. So the advice will be on your approach to the application. So these are very solid universities, very solid programs, strong CGPA from you. And so what you need to do is to get somebody to go through your resume for you. Very important. A lot of people over rely on their transcript, forgetting the other application document. Get somebody to review your statement of purpose for you. and try to go through the Fred Effect 5 guaranteed way of getting full scholarship. Please request for information on the website of these universities. So go through the Fred Effect 5 guaranteed way of securing full scholarship.
Okay.
So with these universities, try and request for information. That is the very important thing. And one day I'll demonstrate how to do that. The second thing is that please email the director of the program you want to apply to. Now ask specific questions. Try and read the frequently asked questions on the university's website as well. And then try to see if you can register and join a webinar. If the program has a social media platform, follow that social media platform as well. If you do these 5 things, you will be able to figure out if these universities will specifically offer you admission and also be able to get a scholarship. The next one is that don't pretend to know everything. Get people to review your documents for you, especially your CV and then your statement of purpose. That will be very helpful. Ben, let's move on to the next one. That will be very helpful in terms of getting the admission and then the scholarship. And then I'll add one more school to it. If you want to check out University of Wyoming, economics, that would be great. Yeah, Ben, let's go on. Let's
Okay.
go on.
So this one is from Opoku, watching us from YouTube. He's saying that, yes, this is from Opoku, watching us from YouTube. He's saying that, Fred, please, one of my references is not having an institutional. Please, would the university accept that email?
Remember that whatever you want to do in terms of this application, it's possible. So you are free to use, any email that you want. But I believe in, if it must be done, it must be done well. Universities mostly may not explain to you why they deny your admission. So if you are spending a lot of effort, time, and resources to apply to a university, sometimes application fees could be as high as $100. And so if they are going to deny your admission because they don't trust the email account, because the regular traditional emails, everybody can have that. And so it will be advisable that you use an institutional email. So if you don't have one, you can use whatever email you are using to apply. But I would highly suggest or advise or advocate for people using professional or institutional emails all the time. Yeah, Ben, let's move on to the next one. Go.
All right. So this one is from he's saying that it's from Bernard, watching us from YouTube. He's saying that my funding exceed my cost of attendance because I secured funds from relatives in addition to my full funding. Am I in a safe hands?
Or I should be anxious, bro. Anxiety.
Or I shouldn't be anxious.
Okay. Yeah, no, there's no need to be anxious, but I would love to have a look at your I-20. Normally, the left-hand side of the financial section of your I-20 should match the right-hand side. And so if it's not like that, some visa officers may misinterpret it, right? So if you send us a copy, if you send us a copy of your I-20 and join the Fred Effect mock interview platform. By the way, for close to 10 years now, we've had a WhatsApp platform that has assisted over 1,000 people, more than 1,000 people, close to 10 years now. So if you want to, if you are preparing for your visa interview, make sure that you send us a link and you join the platform to help you boost your confidence so that you wouldn't be anxious when preparing. So if I take a look at your DS160, I think, and then I-20, I think I'll be able to make informed suggestions on your current situation. All right, Ben, let's move on to the next one. And thank you for joining. If you are just tuning in, this is the Study Abroad podcast with the Fred Effect. Today we are doing the World Cup edition. So all the all the national teams are camping in various universities in Mexico, in Canada, and then the US. So because we are from Ghana, we're concentrating on the Ghanaians, and so we made you aware that in Rhode Island, that is where the Black Stars of Ghana is currently campaign. There is a university called Bryant University which you can apply to. So we are doing the study abroad edition of the World Cup edition of the study abroad, and every Saturday, the last Saturday of every month, so it's the last Saturday of June, and that's why we are coming your way with a Q&A session, right? So the Q&A session is to respond to all your questions you have about the study abroad process, and we do this by the end of the last Saturday of every month. But on the regular Saturdays, we come your way with the interview sections where we bring individuals who have been through the process to share their experience with you, so that you'll be informed when working on your study abroad process. So the Black Stars played their first match in Canada, but the second match was played in Boston. That is where Boston University is located. And in Massachusetts, if you know, if you've heard about Massachusetts, some people call it Master Jesus, right? So Massachusetts, that's where Harvard University is located. It's a hub for a lot of universities and all that. The Boston University, Boston's stadium, that's where the Black Stars played in England. Boston University is located. Black Stars is today playing with Croatia in Philadelphia. That is the state of Pennsylvania, and that is where UPenn is located. University of Pennsylvania is an Ivy League. Drexel University is located there. You get universities like Temple University, and also a bit like far away, somewhere 4 hours drive from the University of Pennsylvania, where Black Stars will be playing the match in Philadelphia. You have Harrisburg University. Remember, Harrisburg is the capital of the state of Pennsylvania, and closer to Harrisburg, you see universities like Penn State and all that. You can see Westchester University, which is also located in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania has a lot of universities, so we are doing the study abroad World Cup edition of the study abroad. So just pay attention that as we are watching World Cup, we are looking at universities to apply to. A lot of people are tipping Spain to win. Remember, Spain is camping in Chattanooga. Chattanooga is a city in Tennessee, and in the same city, there is University of Tennessee at Chattanooga. So check out and apply to that as well. So if you follow the Spanish team, it means that you should be able to apply to that university too as well. Ben, let's move on to the next one.
Okay. All right. So as you said, there is a World Cup edition study abroad podcast. So don't just be watching. As the camera is showing the state of US, be targeting one university you wish to study in.
Yeah.
So that after the World Cup, you can also move in to study. All right. Good. So this one is from Rich Khalifa, watching us from YouTube. I think today we've had a lot of reaction from YouTube. Our Facebook people, please, let's hear from you. Is the network not stable? All right. So he says that, hi, Fred, a brother is holding CGPA of 2.3 degree and did West evaluation, and it increases to 2.7. Does he stand the chance to get admission and gain a full funded scholarship? Hey, Khalifa, are you not sure you are the one?
He's asking for a brother. He's asking for a brother. It's not Khalifa himself. He's asking for a brother. Khalifa, we get a twist. We get a twist. But
Khalifa,
I think it's amazing, and that's why we mostly recommend the evaluation to people, that if your CGPA is, you think your CGPA is being a setback for you, one of the things you can do is to evaluate it, especially with WES, and obviously it will push your CGPA up a little bit. And Khalifa is saying that from 2.3 it pushed it to 2.7. Now, Khalifa, please listen to this very well. Remember that notwithstanding the fact that you've evaluated your transcript, some universities do not accept transcript evaluation. As we record this podcast, University of Alabama do not require transcript evaluation. IU Bloomington does not require a transcript evaluation. Ohio University, where I attended, do not require transcript evaluation. So when you evaluate your transcript and you know that your weakness is your CGPA, then please do not apply to schools that do not require evaluation. Some people work on the evaluation and they turn around to apply to schools that will not accept the evaluation. In that case, you're not doing yourself any good. So first of all, select universities that require only the transcript evaluation. And then you apply to them, which means that they are going to give you the admission based on your boosted CGP of 2.7 and not the initial one of 2.3. And when you're applying to such schools and they ask you to upload your transcript, please do not upload the original transcript that has the 2.3. Upload the worst evaluated transcript that has the 2.7, and mostly they would not even require you to upload your transcript. For these schools, they are ask you to ask WES to send a transcript directly to them. So yes, if you're able to write a very good statement of purpose, and you're also able to refine your CV very well, then you get somebody to review your entire application for you. Getting admission and scholarship will not be a problem. Again, I'm going to repeat the 5 Fred Effect criteria of getting a full scholarship. Please request for information. Try and join a webinar. Email the director of the program. Read frequently asked questions, and also follow the social media account of the program you want to apply to. That is cool. Ben, let's move on to the next question. And we've done more than an hour now. We'll be wrapping up very soon so that we can all go.
All right. Yeah. All right. So please don't forget to drop your prediction for Ghana-Croatia match. We know that Ghana has already secured its place in the round of 32. However, let's see if you can predict and win. So you can draw your prediction in the comment box, and we will try and see if we can highlight it on the screen for you. All right. Okay, so this is from Grow from YouTube. He's saying that, please, I have a Bachelor of Education degree with a CGP of 3.38, second class upper division honors from college with no teaching experience though. Please, is there a guarantee that I can secure fully scholarship?
Yeah, 3.38 is interest. It's amazing. So yeah, obviously you can. You said from a college with no teaching experience though. So normally people focus on the negative side of their profile. Like they talk about what they don't have. You've forgotten to speak about what you have. So what you have is what is going to get you in. And there are certain things you have no control over. So work on the things you can control, focus on and highlight on what you have, and that will get you the admission and scholarship. All right, let's move on. Today we are not able to pick anyone. The people who have joined, they are not putting on their video, so I'm not able to pick anyone. If you join and you want us to pick you to ask your questions, please put on your video. Other than that, you put your question in the comment section. We'll be responding to them for you. But let's move on.
All right. So this is from Can't Complain. He says that you can never complain. Okay, watching us from Facebook. So he's saying that, Fred and Ben, I'm a teacher. I completed my degree in English language. Unfortunately, the UDC hasn't given us our certificate and even official transcript. Do I qualify to apply for a school since this isn't ready? In case I get there, is there any opportunity for scholarship to pursue? And MED in curriculum and instruction in the US. Thanks.
Let's see. So, do I qualify to apply for school since
Frank,
these aren't ready?
All right.
I've completed a degree in English, but unfortunately, there hasn't. So you need your transcript for the application. You can use incomplete transcript to complete some university applications, but for most universities, they need you to submit the official or the unofficial transcript in order to apply. So it's better that you take your time and focus on putting these documents ready so that it makes the application easier for you.
All right. This one is from Emmanuel. Emmanuel is taking us back to DV lottery. We don't know what Emmanuel wants. So he said, Fred, Please, if you applied to the DV lottery once, and even though you did not win, does that affect your chances of getting the F1 visa? Since the DV lottery itself is an immigrant visa.
No,
Oh,
it doesn't.
okay. I get you
No,
now.
no, it doesn't. It doesn't. So that's not a problem. It's not a problem at all.
All right.
All right, so we'll be wrapping up. We take one or two questions and we'll wrap up. Remember that the Fred Effect team has different avenues you can reach us. We don't have any WhatsApp number out there. We are not on Telegram as well. Unfortunately, because of the good work we are doing, some individuals have created their own social media accounts and pretending to be the Fred Effect. Please be careful and not to fall prey to some of these people's deceptive ideas. If you want to reach us to us, remember we are on Facebook. You can send us a direct message. On Instagram, we respond very quick. Send us a message over there. If you want to be a friend, that's cool. Just send us hi. I want to be a friend, and that'll be cool. If you are currently in the university, please be part of the Fred Effects family before you even graduate high school. We want you to be on board as well. And you send us a direct message on either Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or TikTok. We'll be happy to respond. Just send us a message. If you have questions, anything, you can just drop in and we'll be happy to respond to that as well. We have a means by which you can schedule a one-on-one with a team. But if you're preparing for a visa interview, the Fred Effect team has a collaboration with Argo Visa. Argo Visa is a team of ex-visa officers. You can use the link I'm sharing on the screen. If you can type rb.gy/, KU72VB in your web browser, you'll be able to schedule a one-on-one session with Argo Visa, a team of ex-visa officers. Remember, if you are preparing for your visa interview, the Fred Effect team has interviewed a lot of ex-visa officers. Check out our YouTube channel, and then you get a lot of information and ideas that will help you to prepare for your visa interview. If you want to schedule a one-on-one session with the Fred Effect team, I'm going to share the link on the screen. It makes it easier. Just type selar.co/4GIW, and I will be able to you'll be able to schedule a one-on-one session with the Fred Effect team. For years now, we have been helping up people with high school qualification and diploma. So if you have a 2-year certificate qualification, if you have a technical qualification, if you have a high school qualification, if you have a 3-year diploma and you're interested in applying to a bachelor's degree, our team will take your documents, handle the entire application for you at no cost at all. So all you need to do is to schedule a one-on-one session, which requires payment, obviously. And then, we know how serious you are. We'll take your documents and help you explain the entire process to you, and then we'll help you with the application as well. So yes, if you need help paying your service fee, if you need help paying your visa application fee, if you are paying for an enrollment deposit, if you are paying school fees and stuff like that, send us a message. We'll facilitate all these kind of payments for you. All right, Ben, let's end it here for today. It's been an hour of responding to your questions. And so next week we'll come your way with an insightful section as well. Ben, so we are wrapping up. Any final words before we go today? And let me also know, what's your prediction for Ghana, Croatia as well? Your microphone is muted, so you may have to unmute it before we can hear you. Go ahead, man.
Oh, okay. So as usual, as the World Cup is going on, we just want to pick some inspirations from what is going on, especially with regards to the Ghanaian team. If you check the league, if you check the statistics, you realize that it was among one of the least team. I think it was on 73rd. If you check the FIFA ranking, Ghana was on 73rd. But the good thing is that if you see how the players are playing, you can see that kind of hunger. You can see that kind of determination. You can see that kind of no matter what, let's die for this game. And these are the 3 things I want to pick out from the Black Stars team and use it to motivate anyone who is watching us today, that if you are study abroad, you need that anger. Okay, that should push you, that no matter how people will rank you, no matter how people will see you, as in the case of Black Stars, they are nothing, but here we've qualified to the round of 32. So please let that anger push you. It is still possible. The only thing is that maybe it might not be as easy for someone. It might take a bit longer. However, it is still possible. So get that drive, get that determination, and let these tools or these elements motivate you. And I'm very, very sure you'll be successful with your study abroad journey. Thank you once again for joining us for today's study abroad episode.
Awesome. So just before we go, if you Senegal recently won the African Cup of Nations, even though debatable, but they are currently also participating in the World Cup. And guess what? They train at the campus in New Jersey in a campus called Rutgers University. So like I said, we are doing the World Cup edition of the Study Abroad. So Senegal is camping in New Jersey. New Jersey is very close to New York, it's closer to Pennsylvania and all that. So that's the east side of the US. So New Jersey is where Rutgers University is located. So they have the Newark, campus and all that. So Rutgers University is where the Senegal national team is currently camping, or that's where they train. So as you know, then you can also apply to Rutgers University in New Jersey. It's one of the big universities that have a lot of graduate and undergraduate programs that you can apply to. So if you started joining us from the beginning, we were talking about other places where the various national teams are camping, and we are relating it to where you can, some universities you can apply to if you want to study in the US as well. So basically that is it for today. Thank you for joining in. And we will meet next week with another great episode. If you are also following the Ivory Coast national team, they are currently camping in Delaware. Remember, Delaware is where Delaware State University is located, and then University of Delaware is also located in Delaware. Delaware is very close to Pennsylvania, so they play some of their matches in Philadelphia as well. All right, it's been a great session. Thank you for joining. The name is The Fred Effect. I was here with Ben, my co-host, and next week we'll come your way with another insightful episode. Your study abroad dream is valid. You can do it. If anybody can send us a question, if you have questions about your process, if you need help, people have been through the process and they can assist you. So don't forget to, there's nothing like a stupid question when it comes to study abroad. The education system in the country you want to move to is a little bit different from what you are used to. So normally if you ask people who have been there or know the process, then they will be able to help you out. The name has been The Fred Effect. Please be positive and understand that everything will be fine. We'll see you next week.